Hey everyone, it's Marcello back from the Toyota World YouTube channel, and I have driven pretty much every Highlander that's available for the 2022 and 2023 Toyota Highlander lineup, model-wise being the LE, the XLE, the XSE, the Limited, and the Platinum. And I've got to say, out of all of those models, the XSE is my favorite available trim line for the Highlander lineup. I'm going to tell you why just ahead in this video. Okay, so let's start off with the exterior styling and appearance. You can see right away this Highlander looks totally different from the other Highlanders, being that it has a sport front fascia. It's got unique to the XSE Highlanders 20-inch alloy wheels, which kind of go along nicely with a lot of the other XSE trims in the Toyota lineups, being like the the RAV4s, the Camrys. This does look a little bit like something similar to the Camry alloy wheel on the XSE models. But moving right along to the back of the vehicle, you've got a beautiful sport rear fascia. And when I say rear fascia, I'm talking about the bumpers, the trims, and so on. Totally different than any other Highlander for the 22 lineup. You've got some black accents. What am I talking about? Take a look. You've got the black roof rails, black gloss painted roof rails that come standard on the XSE Highlander. And what else? That's right, you've got the black painted mirror caps. And guys, the reason why I'm saying black painted is because I don't want you to think that this is just a regular, like, unfinished black surface, something like this pillar here. This is all painted black, so it's got a nice metallic finish to it, and it really makes the appearance of this SUV just pop. Now, one of the reasons why I absolutely love the Highlander XSE lineup is because it comes available as an option to get it with a red interior. Red interior on an SUV, wow. You can get the red interior on the white exterior, the blue exterior, the black exterior, the silver exterior, and am I missing any? The gray exterior, that's right. So unless you're going for the red exterior, then you're gonna have the black interior seats, but every other exterior color is available with a red interior option, and it's absolutely beautiful. Let's take a look. Have a look at that, guys. Does this not scream sport enthusiast to you? I mean, if it doesn't, well, what does? You've got a beautiful black and red interior that follows through very nicely. And yes, it is a 7-passenger SUV. We'll get to that in a second. Now, if you look closely at some of the details, it's got a nice carbon fiber style finished trim on the interior. And hopefully you've seen by now, but if not, it's got a beautiful matching red stitching throughout the interior dash. So here we have the middle row of this Highlander. Yes, it is captain seats, guys. So for the 2022 lineup, everything is a bench seat except for the LE, the XLE, and the Limited non-hybrid. Now for 2023, however, if you want a 8-passenger Highlander, well, you're gonna have to go with an XLE or an LE. Everything else, hybrid, non-hybrid, will be a 7-passenger SUV. So the 8-passenger option on the Highlander Limited non-hybrid for 2022 has been removed. It's a 7-passenger only, guys. So we're starting to see the new trend being a 7-passenger SUV now for the Toyota lineup on the Highlanders. But I would buy this SUV even if it was a 5-passenger, because look at the stance. It is stunning. And when you go with the XSE, 2022 and 2023 Toyota Highlanders, you're upgraded to a sport tuned suspension. And yes, you can tell that there is a difference in the driving style and feel of a sport tuned suspension Highlander versus a non-sport tuned suspension Highlander like the XLEs. I've been driving Highlander demos for the past 5 or 6 years or so, and I've driven many Highlander XLE demos, and I've driven about 2 or 3 XSE Highlander demos, and yes, you can tell there is a handling difference. That's right. So at sharper cornering, higher speed driving, when you're taking a turn, trying to pass someone, or swerving through a lane, you definitely do feel a lot more responsiveness on this Toyota Highlander when compared to something like an LE, an XLE, and probably even a Limited or a Platinum, because this is the only Highlander that gives you that sport tune suspension that is very aggressive, very firm, very responsive. It is not uncomfortable. You don't feel every bump and you know, swivel in the road. Although I should say, when you go over something like a speed bump, there's a lot less bounce. It just goes over the bump and then stops and then continues to drive in a normal manner. Whereas I felt on the XLE, when you go over something like a speed bump, it kind of bounces for a second or so after the fact. Whereas on the XSE, like I said, it's a lot more firm. You don't really get that, you know, that cushiony feel with this beauty in front of us. Now, here's the thing. When you're going with a red interior Toyota Highlander XSE, do note, I'll tell you guys now, do note that the third row, the very back seat, is going to remain black. It is not going to be color matched for the interior matching the front being red. I'm not sure what's up there. I noticed that probably back in fall. You can see here, that is a black seat. The whole seat's black. Not a big deal. I mean, for me, I wouldn't care, because overall the interior space is great, and using the third row probably only happens about 20% of the driving. For me, it's actually less than that. It's like 5% of the driving. And when the seats are up, you typically have passengers sitting in them. So, I mean, who cares if it's black or red? Probably has to do with some way that somehow, you know, how Toyota ordered the interior. Maybe they were ordered in bulk, and that's the only way they were able to split up the interior colors or make the interior color available as a red. Who knows? In any event, it doesn't bother me. I'm sure it won't bother you, because for the most part, you'll probably have the seats down. What a beautiful SUV. This is the best Highlander model by far. Coming very close to a Platinum, but I feel like this one here has a little bit more style and characteristic than something like a Platinum. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. You'll also notice the taillights look a little bit smoked, a little bit darker than the taillights on the XLE. And also, take a look at the headlights. Unique headlamp for the XSE model only. It's got the black housing. Check it out. No chrome in there. Really sharp, really makes the headlamp pop. I love the black polished or black painted accent piece over there on the front bumper. Really ties in nicely with the whole front end. Now check out this extra little flare that you probably didn't notice even if you own this Highlander, and that's this silver trim line here along the bottom of the fascia, follows through along the whole side of the vehicle very nicely and into the back bumper. There's just so many details and characteristics about the XSE that, you know, you can go on for hours, that I just love, and I think it makes it very unique and very different. Now, as for the interior, yes, it does have a power sunroof. Of course, what good would a Highlander sport model be without a power sunroof? The XSE at least in Canada, does come standard with a heated steering wheel. And also what I love, of course, I've got kids, when you go with at least the XLE model and up, you do get these beautiful privacy screens that come in handy. I mean, it's far more superior than just having tinted windows when you need shade for your kids or family in the back seat. Also, recently, just a quick tidbit, guys, a lot of the USB ports have been changed and upgraded to USB-C. There is still one regular USB port here, but for the most part now, in the front and the back, they're all USB-C. Now, in case you were wondering, yes, this does come standard with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. The 2023 model is going to have the new Toyota multimedia system in it, which is going to have the cloud-based navigation. It's going to have the wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and a few other small changes to the vehicle. Nothing major, of course. Yes, we'll talk about it later when I wrap up the video. The V6 is no longer. There's going to be a new 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. But let's continue with the review. Okay, so just before I wrap up this video as to why I absolutely love the Highlander XSE for looks, characteristics, style, features, and so on, let's talk about the new 4-cylinder that's coming. So yes, the Highlanders are now going to be in a 4-cylinder. There's no more 3.5 liter V6. What do I have to say about that? I don't know. I won't know until I drive it. I'm sure it's absolutely fine. As Toyota says, it's not really going to sacrifice any fuel economy, power, acceleration, and all that stuff. It's going to be pretty much the same. So to me, there's no difference. I mean, I think it's cool to have a turbo in a vehicle, especially an SUV. Turbos have been used for a long time in a lot of vehicles, small and large. Toyota knows what they're doing, guys. This may have been due to supply, perhaps. A lot of customers, a lot of viewers asking, why are they changing from a V6 to a 4-cylinder? Maybe they can't get the V6, guys. Maybe in order to produce a Highlander for you, they need to put a 4-cylinder in it. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not looking to find out anytime soon why. I mean, it is what it is. But I'm sure it's going to drive absolutely perfect. I'm sure it's going to be just like the V6 is in terms of acceleration and power and so on. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'd still definitely buy a Highlander XSE, 4-cylinder, 3-cylinder, 6-cylinder, whatever it is. If you enjoyed the video, smash a thumbs up. See you on the next one.